We're at the end of May. This is Coffee Talk on a Thursday morning. I'm first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. Thanks for joining us. Of course, with not only a stormy weather pattern over top of us, but a rainy radar, we are going to keep that in the bottom corner there, tracking not only our live first warning Doppler radar, zooming in on some of these downpours, which are already putting out thunder and lightning, but also showing kind of that wide perspective. But in addition to that, we are tracking some things. Let's talk about the top two things we are monitoring. First off, with all of this stormy weather around, there are drier days ahead. Let's chat about that. And we are tracking the tropics. May not be much, but we're watching something off of our east coast. So yeah, we've got you covered there. Before we do so, cool, the tower cam's not working. Like, it's routed, it's just not working. All right, we'll move on, I guess. A gremlin has entered the building. All right. We'll have engineering look at that. Hold on. It's time for a sip. Okay. I'm feeling much better. All right. Good morning to you. It is soggy in spots. So to our first warning live Doppler radar we go. Not watching any rainfall like right over the metro right now, but let me just lapse this and you can see some of these showers kind of spreading over to Deltona and Sanford. You kind of watch some of that rain spreading on through Lake Mary, my friends there. Watching a little bit of shower activity, eventually getting over to I-4. Did have some rains over I-4 a little bit ago. And as such as you would imagine, yes, I-4 is a little wet in spots. Then we head over to the beaches where it's just flat out pouring. New Smyrna Beach, it's pouring. And this is kind of working up toward the Ponce Inlet and Port Orange. Let me just kind of put a storm track on this. Give it a second. It's not moving very fast, about 10 miles an hour or so. But we'll do this. We'll widen the shot out. We'll track you at about 10 miles an hour. When does the rain arrive in your area? All right, Lake Vashpee Shores right on 415 at 8:13. Deltona at 8:25. Port Orange at 8:29. South Daytona at 8:40. And Cassadaga at 8:52. So a little bit of rain we're watching up that direction, right? Let's track further to the south into Brevard County. My friends there watching some pretty heavy stuff around Scottsmore, Mims, right? Decent rains. Nothing severe, but some good, decent rains. Stratiform rain, we call it. And just kind of checking in. This is the velocity product on our live Doppler radar. 22 mile per hour wind. So nothing too gusty, but there's definitely some good heavy rainfall there. Further to the south around the Kennedy Space Center, it's raining, it's pouring, the old rockets are snoring. Down to the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, little bit less rainfall for you, not too bad. And then over to Cape Canaveral, like right around Port Canaveral, we're watching the rains, you kind of see it there, drifting off to the south toward Merritt Island and Cocoa Beach. So a little bit of rainfall for us. Temperatures out the door, sitting at about 72 degrees in Orlando, 75 degrees in Melbourne. And the forecast today, that's the 3 p.m. Hold on. That's the graphic I use for the afternoon coffee talk. For our morning coffee talk, here we go. A little bit of rain this morning, but you'll watch the rain coverage increase. 79 by lunchtime, 83 degrees by 3 o'clock this afternoon, 50% coverage of showers and storms, and then we'll increase that to a 60% coverage of showers and storms today. It's going to be a wet day, right? Here's a look at temperatures across Central Florida. There you go. Because of this wet weather, obviously those temperatures are not going to be able to climb quite as high. 83 degrees in Orlando. About 80 degrees in Leesburg, 79 or so in Daytona Beach. What about Futurecast? Doing a great job of showing the rain, maybe trending a little bit drier, pushing to 11 o'clock this morning, and then bada bing, bada boom. We get the showers and storms kind of firing up. Now, what I think is interesting is our Futurecast model is really trying to show stuff out west, but if we go to the rapid refresh Futurecast, it's more of a widespread swath of rain into the afternoon. And I think that the models are just kind of struggling with it. I think I would go more of this rapid refresh version of Futurecast where we're going to see a widespread swath of rain. That's what I'm anticipating today. All right. Either way, though, rain's already out there, meaning that the Orlando International Airport is already backing up because of weather. Reason: traffic management initiatives mitigating due to weather. So the current delay is sitting at 30 minutes time, and certainly we'll probably see that increase through the day. In terms of flight cancellation delays, etc., most flights are on time. There are 18 delayed flights and 3 canceled flights. So we're watching some issues over at the airport. I put out a tweet just before Coffee Talk. That's the way it's going to go, though. We know this is the way it plays out. All right. So that's where we're at right now. Delayed flights, some canceled flights. But where do we go from here? Shall we chat about it? Let's do it. All right, so there we are. Storm system now working on the east side. It felt a little cooler to me this morning because of that north wind. And over the next couple of days, that storm system will continue to progress little by little off of our east coast. For our Friday, there you go. Still piling on the showers and the thunder showers. But by Saturday, Sunday, okay, that's when things change around just a little bit, okay? By Saturday and Sunday, that storm system is going to continue pulling away. Case in point, I'll back this up and just, hold on. There we are. So there's Friday. Storm system is here. All that moisture still over top of us, right? Watch what happens, though, Saturday. That storm system pulls to the north, and as it does so, it drags the moisture with it. Look around Central Florida. We're actually looking at much drier air, a version of a late season front, if you will. And then afterward, by Sunday into Monday, we're going to start to trend back to our rainy season pattern. So we're getting like a temporary break in the rainy season, but don't get too excited, right? So here's where we're at for our Memorial Day, okay? Saturday, we're looking drier, and we'll look at more of the model data shortly, but we're looking drier. Sunday, we've got in there a stray shower. We may have to start tweaking the rain chances up, and then by Memorial Day Monday, we're starting to see those isolated showers, but again, we may need to start tweaking that up just a little bit, which reminds me, I'm working Tony Manolfi's shift, and I didn't tell the wife. Hold on a second. On Memorial Day. Hey, forgot to tell you, Tony's mom is in town, so he's taking Memorial Day off, and I'm working for him. Okay, sorry, This just clicked that synapse in my brain, so my apologies. But anyway, hey, it gives me time with the family in the morning, so I don't mind it at all. I was already scheduled to work. All right, so that's kind of where we're at in terms of the next couple of days, okay? Now, if we look at things overall, okay, this is like a good early hurricane season kind of setup for us. Because if we look at things overall, right, we've got rough surf building as that storm system moves east of us. And while we are going to be drying things out, which is great, many people are going to want to head over to the beaches, myself included. Know this, the surf really building. Like today, seas offshore 3 to 5 4-foot breakers. Surf's up, dude, like tubular. But Friday, tomorrow, we're really building, and Saturday, we're really building. Like Saturday, dangerous at the area beaches. We won't be talking about rip currents necessarily because it's going to be kind of this northwesterly wind, but dangerous surf absolutely factored in, okay? That's where we're at in terms of things. But again, like we've got showers and storms today. We've got showers and storms tomorrow. So it's just one of those things that we have to deal with. All right, so let's talk about the 7-day forecast. And then we can open it up and chat questions, comments, concerns, and all that. So today, going with like a 60% coverage of showers and storms, a little lower coverage than yesterday. Same thing for our Friday. And then Saturday looking dry. Sunday dialing up the moisture. I think Monday into Tuesday, we're also going to have to start dialing the moisture up a little bit. And then by Wednesday, we're back to rainy season weather pattern. That's just where we're at. In terms of the rain coverage today, okay. Hold on. All right. So here we are. This morning, coast. And then through the day, that rain coverage kind of shifts off toward the inland and western areas. So that's the afternoon rain coverage, right? Morning, pretty much exactly where we are. We get that this morning. This afternoon, the coverage shifts. All right? All right. That's where we're at now. Now we can take a second. We can pause, and I can say good morning to you. What questions, comments, concerns may we have? Let me just go up. I've missed a ton of comments, and I apologize. Mr. Mark Shiptovsky, good morning. We have finally gotten much-needed rain south of Tampa this week. Relief at last. It's true, and today the new drought monitor comes out. Let's just familiarize ourselves with where we are in the drought monitor now. So the west coast of Florida, including the Tampa Bay area, including southwest Florida, you are under that extreme drought. Now, I would imagine that inland areas are probably going to go to maybe abnormally dry. I don't think that we're going to be, still in an extreme drought. Or I should say in a moderate drought, because things have really, really, really helped. If we look at the rainfall numbers for the year, big fix. Big fix. Like Orlando for the year, remember we were like 7 inches of rain in the deficit. Not only did we keep up, but we've almost filled in that gap. Orlando now less than an inch of rain behind. Sanford, Leesburg has always been the driest, so we've got some work to do there. But we're definitely doing better and better and better. Definitely doing better and better and better. Janice says, picked up my Apple Watch Ultra yesterday. You need to teach me how to use it. Yeah, you're going to have fun with it, though. It's a lot of fun. Chris is asking, did the rocket launch last night? Man, I was asleep. SpaceX Twitter. No, they didn't even try it. They went ahead and pushed it 10 hours ago. They're targeting Friday. Yeah, they're now targeting Friday. So, actually, here's the forecast for that. I could have told you that. It took me a second. My bad. Yeah, so also not looking great, but Friday at 11:25 p.m. Yeah. If you look at, so that's late enough Friday. So here's Saturday's rain chances in the morning. And you can kind of see if the morning rain chances are along the coast, then that's going to be late Friday as well. So there you go. That's kind of the concern there. But as far as the rocket launch forecast goes, yeah, not looking great this time of year, particularly this current weather pattern. It's just a bit of a struggle. So yeah. Taylor, do we have rain totals from yesterday? We have some, but let's see. It says here, we'll do this again because Kellyanne did not retitle it, so I will just show you this, and then I'm going to scratch out today because it's not today, it's yesterday. All right. Rainfall yesterday. Margaritaville coming in, and I typed these myself. Margaritaville, almost 6 inches of rain yesterday. Bayberry Lakes, I didn't type this one. Menalfi found this one. I think that's in coastal Volusia somewhere. I don't know exactly where. Almost 5 inches. Highland Park, 3.25 plus, and then Ormond Beach at 2.5. So there was a ton there. What about further inland? Okay, again, it says rainfall today. That should say rainfall yesterday, so we're just going to scratch that out. Perfect. All right, Lake Mary, 2.5 inches of rain. Sanford Farms, about 2 inches or so. Wekiva Springs, Sweetwater, 1.5 inches, and then east of Popka at about 1.25 inches. So had some real decent rains yesterday, and some real decent rains, frankly, the last couple of days. What did I say? Like in Orlando, you can easily get 5 inches of rain in one day. That's the chaos of Central Florida, right? Dr. Ian Malcolm would be so proud. So looking at the forecast then, it's dominated by this piece of energy, this little area of low pressure, right? And as it moves off of our east coast, there is the opportunity that it tries to develop, okay? So we look to the tropics, and right now the tropical map not really showing much. You can kind of see a flare-up of moisture off of the east coast of Florida. Hurricane Center is saying that because this should stay along a front, they're not anticipating this to develop. And I wouldn't say I'm expecting it to develop at all. I would just say, I've said it for over a week now. It's actually 7, 8, 9, it's been 10 days ago. 10 days ago on WESH 2 News at 11, I said that there's an area of interest. And, you know, I still think it's an area of interest. I'm glad the Hurricane Center circled it, because the reality is this is going to be a storm system here that is going to, at the very least, give some impacts to our friends in coastal Carolina. You know? Gusty winds, that whole thing. So let's do this. Let's just take a look at some raw model data, okay, and see what's doing. If you're new to Coffee Talk, during the tropics, we always look at raw model data. We try to dial in and see what's doing, all right? So here's raw model data off of the American GFS model, okay? You can see, if you read it, top left, GFS quarter degree initialized 6Z. That's the most recent run of the GFS. MSLP, mean sea level pressure, normalized anomaly, sigma. So what you're looking here is pressure anomalies. The blues, the greens, and the purples, that's lower pressure. Obviously, there's no dying front over top of us, so lowered pressure. The yellows and the oranges, that's higher pressure. That's nicer weather. And I know that you all have been leaving comments. I'll get to that in just a couple seconds. I apologize. I'm on a rant, and we're just going with it. We'll get to the questions. So there's all that low pressure, and it's kind of coming together. 1,000, you know, what's the lowest pressure on the screen there? 1,008. That's 1,004. So 1,004 low off the coast of the Carolinas. That's 2 a.m. Sunday morning. All right. It's important to note, and let me, on the other system, I've got a bunch of different graphics here. What is it? That's the 6Z run of the GFS. GFS 6Z. I'm just pulling up because what I want to do is I want to take that and take the exact same model. Give it a second. It's loading. And I want to zoom in to show kind of the wind concerns. Oh, you Gewalt. I over zoomed in. All right. So at the very least, right? There we go. So at the very least, that shot there, okay, if we were to time it out, there you go. Right? We're looking at 30, 40, 45 mile per hour winds kind of firing up along the South Carolina, North Carolina border there, Myrtle Beach, the Grand Strand. Is that a hurricane? No. But is that crummy weather? Yeah. And so that certainly is a concern for our friends that live that direction. So it's at least worth mentioning, and I'm glad that the Hurricane Center did finally at least put it in their outlook, okay? Again, it's just something to watch, and that's totally fine. All right, after that, there's still low pressure over Florida. That happens to be the Nicole part of the pattern. And then look at that. That's kind of interesting. Like a little piece of energy around June the 4th firing up over the Gulf of Mexico. You see that? I'm interested. That's new. I haven't seen that before yet. It's 1,002, 1,001, and then into like the Panhandle around June 6th. And then up the East Coast, 995 millibar low. Well, that's interesting. Along an old front. Is it tropical in nature or not? I don't know. But we're definitely, let me just run this model and then we can go beyond it. I'm curious as to if the European has it. All right, let's switch over to the European. And let's just look. There it is, 1,000. Is that like 1,008 or so? So, we're definitely watching that coastal low working into the Grand Strand, it looks like, of South Carolina. That's as far as the 6Z run goes. So we'll go back to the 0Z. The cold part of the pattern, like right there-ish over South Florida, nothing crazy. Going with just broad low pressure. And then if we head over to the control, interesting. Even the European is kind of trying to find something in the Gulf of Mexico. Maybe not as pronounced, but trying to find something there. Interesting. Look, 'tis the season to be watching these sorts of things. But either way, no matter what happens, this is 2 a.m. Saturday, that exact same time frame that we were looking at on the GFS. That's kind of crummy weather for our friends across South Carolina, right? I mean, you're talking about 30, 40, 45 mile per hour wind gusts there. Not the best. So if you've got friends that live up that direction, let them know that this weekend is going to be a little crummy. All right? Meanwhile, for us, the Memorial Day weekend forecast is actually looking really quite nice. So there's that. And with that, I will take a pause and start talking questions. I apologize. Just been running my jabber. Is there going to be a window of no rain that I can get my sod in the morning tomorrow? I mean, I would think tomorrow morning would be all right. I mean, there's going to be rain. It's not going to be totally perfect. If you can wait, Annie, I would say like Saturday's looking pretty dry. Saturday's looking pretty great. So take that in while we can. All right. Chris, you'll have to explain to me, does that change your delivery date at all? Josue says, I believe this year is going to be like our fourth year where we moved back here 8 years ago. Very stormy. Could be. Oh, our first year here. Okay, got it. Yeah, could be. Laura says the chaos of Central Florida. I mean, it kind of is, right? Oh, man. I got drenched coming out of Publix in Melbourne yesterday, Janet said. Had ice cream, so I just had to go for it. You just had to go for running out, or you just had to go for eating the ice cream? Because I could see that too. Yeah. Right? I could see that too. Hey, Frankie, good morning to you. How are you? Good morning. Who gave me a sopa? I know, right? I know. I'm on a rant. It was a weather rant is what it was. It's okay. Look, you've got to expect weather rants on Coffee Talk, I would think. Joanna, what's the boating forecast Sunday and Monday in Melbourne? So we talked about this a little bit, but the boating forecast is not looking good. It's getting better on Sunday, right? Seas are running 3 to 5, and then it'll calm into Monday. But it's still going to be a rough go of it. Yeah. I feel like I'm getting a teaching lesson this morning. Heather, we're always doing that. We're always trying to give as much information as we can. All right. Brian with his daily detailed, thought-out question, not counting any preseason or late season storms. On average, when do we usually get the first and last tropical system? So true story. I have to look at my phone. This is a brand new computer, and I don't have Microsoft Excel on it yet. So, Brian always with those great questions that I always have to go dive deep. Okay. All right, Atlantic. Okay. All right, let me look. Stand by. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do this on my phone because this is a really verbose product. All right, I'm looking. Tropical cyclone. Atlantic rapid intensification, adjusted hurricanes, Atlantic hurricanes. Oh man, this is so much easier on a computer. I'm trying. If this doesn't look good, I apologize. Okay. Atlantic tropical cyclone formations by month. maximum rapid intensification events. So on average, the month of June, I'm just looking. So on average, the month of June usually gives us 0.8 named storms and 0.1 hurricanes. But, okay, the 30-year current average, which runs from 1991, I did find what we were looking for. From 1991 to 2020, the average first named storm is June the 19th. Keep in mind, we've had our first named storm already, January 16th. Okay? Officially, at least. Second named storm on average is July the 16th. And then the third average named storm is August the 2nd. All right? So there it is. Brian, got you, baby. Got it. Love it. All right. Sod farm not open Saturday. Can you get it, Annie, tomorrow and then plant it on Saturday? Also, so I've noticed since I've gotten this new computer, this old webcam of mine, I don't know if y'all can notice it, but this old webcam of mine, when I use the laptop webcam, it looks great. I'm using an old webcam at my desk here, and it looks terrible. Like the pixely face. I think I'm going to have to invest in a new webcam for my desk. I think, yeah, it looks like I'm in 1996 now. Oh, well. All right, let's see here. I had to cancel a couple of yards today because they're still soaked. Yeah, sorry. Let's see here. Get your fishing in early, Steven says. That is absolutely correct. Let's see here. Mickey, does the BSR show that weird golf stuff? So, new computer. I don't have the BSR set up on this. I have to get there. I'll get there. It's not there. I'll have to get there. Becca says I look good. Well, thank you, my dear. I appreciate it. But also, like, I mean, I can see it on my screen. Like, it's not good. It's very, like, the lower third is razor sharp. The radar is razor sharp. This situation, not razor sharp. This webcam has been has run its course. So there it is. Brian says sounds like an excuse to buy fun new stuff. I mean, I'm looking, from what I could see, everything is sharp on the screen except for me. So it's time to make that subtle investment. And Coffee Talk is not paid for by Wesh. So this is a new computer for me. Wesh did not pay for it. I will be paying for this webcam. There you go. Wesh does pay the bill for that first morning live Doppler radar. So I guess if I had to pay a bill, I would want it to not be that radar. So there's that. All right. Any questions? Anything? Questions, comments, concerns? Want to make sure that we are all taken care of here. That everybody knows everything there is to know. Heather says, I'm here in Jacksonville and still watching forecasts, especially since I make trips to Titusville for launches. Well, thank you. John asking a good one. Question, what is the average pressure at sea level in millibars and in inches of mercury? Standard pressure. That's a good one. 1021. Two niner niner 2 is standard pressure. It's like, what is it, 1012 in millibars? Is it 1012? I think, is it 10? I think 1012 is, but 2 niner niner 2. 2 niner niner 2. Learn that in aviation. 29.92 inches of mercury. Standard pressure. Can you take it off your taxes? I don't know. I've always like looked into all that stuff, and then the standard deduction has always worked just fine. Yeah. I've got fake intern Ryan sending me webcam ideas. That's the same webcam, though, that we've had on the Wesh computers for like 10 years, Ryan. Like, is that a decent one? I want a decent camera. I don't know. I've got like the 720? I've got the low resolution version of that one. I'm just looking. What does it say? Yeah, this is only 720p. So it's a low resolution webcam. I need something better. Taylor's laughing. Fake intern. He's fake intern. He'll become a real intern one day, but for now he's fake intern. You know? Laura, if I can make it a tax deduction, I will. I've always looked into it, and it's always just ended up being that, like, you know, standard deduction just works better. Yeah. Brian says, to any veterans, active military, or family members who have lost loved ones that might be in here, thank you for your service. 100%, Brian. And I would, I'll just tell you that we'll absolutely be having that conversation together as well, looking ahead to Monday. Yeah. But with this unofficial start to summer weekend ahead, always remember what it is, right? Debbie says, oh, Eric, you look fine to us, honestly. Well, thank you. But also, look, always push forward. I can't tell you how often in my career I've been in the boss's office, not in the boss's office, but like how often I've been a pain in the neck disruptor because I'm always pushing forward. And when you're a disruptor, like our long range forecasting, when you're a disruptor, you get pushback. So, and in this case, like I just look, I can see it. I'll have to watch it back, but on my screen, it looks terrible. All right. That's all we got. Listen. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. I hope you have a wonderful one. I will see you for Coffee Talk today at 3:30. We'll be chatting there and do our thing. Sound good? Sound good. Elizabeth, please don't talk so fast. Would you like me to talk like this, Elizabeth? At 39 years of age, I believe I've gotten to the point where I just kind of am who I am. I don't know. I think. I've been told by many people not to talk as much, and that one I also fail at. So here we are. All right, people. Be good, y'all. Exactly, Debbie. You get it. All right. Be good, y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.